chosen one, Kier. Kier, brilliant one, Kier.
I didn't know.
Brings the bounty through the plain, through the torment, through the rains. Progress, knowledge, show no fear. Kier, chosen one, Kier. So yeah, we're talking about Severance.
What the fuck?
I'm ready to do some macro data refinement.
Yeah. This show is incredible.
Yeah,
It's like I don't think we've talked about something on this podcast in a while that I've been this like, wait a minute, is this a perfect thing? Like,
yeah. Let's take it back. Let's take it back. Tell me your experience before having watched the show, because I know you watched like one episode or something.
So I watched two. I watched 2 episodes and thought it was really cool and really interesting, but I was in the process of moving.
Yeah.
So it like got lost in that shuffle of like just the hectic weeks around moving, and I just never picked it back up. And I really liked it. Those first 2 episodes are really good, but my experience this time was the same of like rewatching those first 2 because it had been so long, and then like feeling about the same where I was like I was really intrigued by those first 2 episodes, and then by episode 3 I was just hooked. Like I couldn't stop. A weird way to watch a show for sure, but it worked out because then I didn't have to wait 3 years in between season 1 and 2.
Preach.
Which I can't imagine.
Yeah. Like for me, like I had some awareness of it during the first season, obviously. I don't think the first season was nearly as marketed as the second one was.
No.
Which is something we'll talk about. But like I always knew that it would be something that would be like right up my alley, you know?
Yeah.
Give me a mystery box, give me give me an office, give me a weird, dark, sinister vibe underneath, like comedy. I'm here for it.
Sometimes vague to just very sci-fi world, like
yeah. And like so at my office, at my very corporate office, one of my coworkers was like, you got to watch Severance, dude. And I was like, all right, I'll watch it. And she literally pestered me, like right when season 2 started, she pestered me for like a couple of weeks being like, seriously, you got to hop on. And I was like, all right, I'll hop on. And Robin, you were right. This show fucking rules. It's my new favorite thing. Thank you. And I owe you one.
That's the shit, dude. It's awesome.
Yeah,
that's the thing is I was also pestered to like hop back on by you and by like 5 or 6 other people. They were all like, how have you not watched this show?
Yeah.
And I all of them were right. You were right. I should have jumped on this forever ago.
I can't think of another. Is this the best shot television show ever? Is there another television show that was shot better than this one?
That's hard. Because it's like the thing about the way this is shot to me is it's so specific. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like it really might be like I can't think of anything. I mean, there's like episodes of Game of Thrones that I think did really interesting visual things that are like huge in the way that this makes everything small. You know, like there's a very good argument that this is the best shot TV show ever.
Honestly, I don't think there's any argument. I think it is full like, because look, like Game of Thrones, I think is a good example. I think that is a show that is very aesthetically pleasing. Like it's like the sets, the costumes, the cinematography, I think is well done. What I would say is it is not even 1/4 as intentional as this show is with its cinematography. Like
this show felt. Yeah, the Severance feels like nothing was discovered before that was, accident. It's like all the things that were discovered on set were the performances and the, it's like, it feels so specific and also so untranslatable. Like I can't think of another show that I would want to be shot exactly like this. Like it feels so unique to the Severance world.
You could watch the show on mute and still more or less get it.
Yeah.
Like, at least
you'd be,
at least understand what the world is. You'd understand the character dynamics. You would understand so much. Yes, you wouldn't get the script, but man, you'd understand the story.
The thematics of it would show through so well. I mean, there are shots in this where it's just like just a shot. There's nothing really going on, and I'm sitting there like, all right, well, I don't want to watch this anymore. I'm depressed.
Yeah.
It is unbelievable, and I love the lighting so much. Like, just it feels overbearing at times, and then so big and weird and crazy. Yeah. And I'm curious if you ever had this thought. Just the way they frame stuff. They show the ceiling a lot, and I don't know if that's something that you picked up on or cared about, because I remember somebody pointing that out to me about, they were talking about kind of some of the few really cool things about Alien 3. And one of them is that they show the ceiling a lot, because normally a sci-fi movie like that is on a stage, so there is no ceiling. They only put a very specific moment, so there's something about it that cages you in this movie that I think is, or this show, that is so cool. Like, I noticed it like episode 2. I was like, they're showing the ceiling a lot, and I love it. Yeah, it's it's so much harder, I'm sure, to light when you can't rig from above as easily like that. But man, does it pay off.
The cinematographer, I cannot remember her name. Gagne is her last name, but I can't remember her first name. She originally did not want to take this show. She didn't want to accept it because she was like, I don't want to shoot an office drama. It's going to be boring. And yet she finds every single ounce of interest in every angle, in every shot that she can possibly, not only interest, like it's not just visually interesting, but like intention. Like every shot, every second is so intentional in a way that like is and it has to be for this kind of mystery box show where every detail is important. Like, the cinematography has to be treated the exact same way, and that is why it took 3 years in between seasons.
Well, and I have to, like, we talked about this before, but like Guillermo del Toro, who I reference all the time because I love him, his philosophy on filmmaking is that like cinematography is production design is editing is acting, acting is directing, right?
100%.
Like, to give, you know, she had the coolest office to do an office drama in ever. You know, like all of it is so like, it's this weird maze of very plain walls, but then hyper specific rooms. You know what I mean? Like, she was given this amazing thing, and she took just like you said, she took everything about it and made it even better. It's like kind of unbelievable how many different, because the framings are so weird. Like, specifically thinking in season 2, whenever Helly R is in the office late trying to memorize the sheet, and he shows up, James shows up. It's like framed not with one of them on here and one of the, they're both shoved off to this one weird side, and it like takes your eye a second to find it, but that makes it so much more interesting. Man, like I don't know if idiosyncratic is the exact right word for it, but the way it's shot is so like, I mean,
I think that hits. I think that word is perfect. I think that hits.
And Ben Stiller being one of the main directors behind the series is so interesting to me.
Yeah.
Oh man,
I just shout out, just goes to show you how good Ben Stiller really is.
I know. Yeah. Like it's one of those things where you're watching it and you kind of don't realize what it's doing or how well it's doing what it's doing.
Yes.
Because I think the themes, and we'll talk about this because I have a couple questions for you. I think the themes are very overt about what the show is about. Like, they're so literal. Now, there's what they're doing with those themes is very subtle. It's very interesting. But yeah, it's like it takes you a bit to realize how much the visuals and the location, what they're doing to you emotionally and psychologically. Man, like, talk about one of the best shows of the last decade, if not just kind of one of the best shows ever. Like,
I mean, obviously we're season 2 of who knows how many seasons they're going to do. Honestly, I kind of hope they do season 3 and end it. in all honesty, because I
agree
feel
with
like
you.
season 3 will feel like a good ending point. I'm sure there's a lot more they can draw out of this, but like at the same time, you don't want to be one of those shows that keeps drawing and drawing and drawing and drawing when there isn't anything left. Like you and I both are huge Lost fans, but at the same time, there comes a point in that show where you're like, all right.
Yeah,
like,
it's time.
Mercy kill this show. Like there is still good things happening. There's still so much to like, but at the same time, like, guys, come on. Yeah.
It's
like it's hard to put into words how much I appreciate the show. Okay, that being said, season 2, in the middle of season 2, they were starting to lose me a little bit. I was like, all right, where are we going? What is happening? We are asking infinitely more questions, and I feel like nothing is being answered concretely, but we're just like asking more questions. And then like we get some big, like, holy shit, that was like I think it's episode 5, the one with like Gemma and Mark's backstory, which might go down as the most beautiful episode of television ever created.
Visual question about that. They don't shoot this show on film, right?
I don't know. Like, I don't know if they're switching or not, because that if either it is the best film emulation I've ever seen,
yes,
or that episode was just shot on film.
Because that's what I was gonna say. Specifically, like those the like really flashbacky stuff, the beautiful moments they're showing.
Yeah,
I was like, holy shit, are they shooting on film? It looks incredible. Like, because I know they have that new, the Knives Out cinematographer has that algorithm he developed that he can like create a thing that like looks almost indistinguishable from real film.
Yeah.
To the point that like director like Rian Johnson shot one day of Knives Out on film, only one, and he like after doing posts and stuff, he couldn't tell you which shots they got that day and what was this like emulated thing. Really fascinating, but man, is that episode look good.
It's absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
The one thing that I did you watch any of the like talkbacks after the episodes?
No, I had to jump to the next episode too quick. I was too like
there's some really good stuff in there. The cinematographer, apparently the house that like Gemma and Mark's house. Mm-hmm. Apparently she was living in that house before or during production. And so there's like all of these things, like there's the roundabout in front of the house, so the lights coming in through the office was something that she noticed because she ordered Uber Eats one night.
Yeah.
And like the car came and delivered it, and she's like, oh, like it, like the light like sweeps through the room and sweeps through the house, and like, oh, I could use that for that scene with Mark. And I'm like, that's incredible. Like that's so cool. Yeah.
Yeah, normalize living in your workspace for sure.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, for a cinematographer, it's not crazy, but
no. I genuinely think that's like awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's. I want to talk thematics. If you had to start a pitch for what this show was about, what is like your like one sentence thematic starting point? To get people in, to try to encompass as much of it as you can. Because I think, and I ask this specifically because me and Breck have been joking about what this show is about, because so many people are just like, it's a show about work-life balance. And I was like, sort of, kind of, like that's part of it for sure. That is not what this show is about. You know what I mean? Like, I'm curious if you at all feel that way, if you at all feel like it's specifically anti-capitalist, or if it's specifically, because it's a million things. And don't get me wrong, this is not like I'm just curious how you start a pitch for this, because I don't know.
I mean, yeah, like definitely like, how a company takes advantage of its workers is definitely a huge part of it. The parts of ourselves that we try to remove either for while we are working, or the ways that we try to escape grief, you know what I mean? Like things like that. Like, I don't know, man. Again, like you said, like, and work-life balance for sure is in there.
Like the immediate thing that comes to mind for me is like something along the line. There's a much more eloquent way to put this than I will, but like something along the lines of, it's a show exploring how corporations turn you into either a product or a product generator.
Yeah.
And remove intelligence, remove individuality, it's like all, because like some of the stuff with Mr. Milchek was like tough to watch in season 2. Because I agree with you. I think season 2 in the middle, you're like, okay, what exactly is going? It's like it's less active than season 1.
Yeah.
But there's not a show I've ever watched. Like, you know, sometimes when you watch a show and you're like, is this show confusing, or is it just not telling its story very well? Like I've seen shows and movies like that where I'm like, I think I'm following, but I feel like I'm missing something. Yeah. And then you get to the end and they don't. This show I trust completely can like drop me in the middle of the woods with no map, and somehow it will. I'll be able to get out. You know what I mean? I'll be able to
just
get
like
to the waterfall.
Yes.
I'll
the tallest waterfall in the world. That's like 6 feet tall.
You're like, this is rough. This is rough to hear.
Yeah.
But yeah, there were times where you feel so lost in it, and then you're like, oh wait, this is what it is, and it's a fascinating way to do a show, especially with how inactive season 2 is. Season 2 is a lot of meandering in a way that I don't hate, especially retroactively after getting to the end and experiencing it as a whole. It like just works.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'd say that my watching experience as part of that. So I watched all of season 1 and basically like the first third or first quarter of season 2 all in a row, like over just a few days.
Yeah.
And then I went week to week for basically the rest of the season.
Yeah.
That was such a weird way to watch that show.
Yeah.
Just because like I burned. So it's like there's parts of the show that are like, especially when each actor is playing 2 characters essentially, and so it's like those things kind of get mixed in my brain in a weird way. So like parts of it are like tough to, especially with the way that like season 1 is very like it cuts between the 2 halves of the world in episodes all the time. So like you're going from Mark S or any Mark to Audi Mark all in the same episode. But season 2 is structured very different, like where this is an Audi Mark episode. This is a Cobell episode. This is a Gemma episode. Like this is an any Mark episode. Like it's so separate in that way, in a very different way. So it's like it's made remembering parts of it hard in a weird way.
Yeah.
Because like just again, like I've been wanting to like go back through and watch it again. I wanted to do that before we recorded the episode. Then I just didn't really have an opportunity to. But man, like we could go down the list of like we've already talked about the cinematography, the score. I think is the score and the fucking needle drops. I think that is another thing that is not
like just the soundscape, the kind of like that like repeated kind of like almost like a Geiger kind of sound. Like I don't know what it is exactly they're using, but every time that drops, you're like, oh no, something's happening. I'm nervous. So good. And I do agree. Some really rad needle drops.
It's like we could do like what's the like In the White Room or something like like at the talking about like the last episode of season 2. It's like there are a billion songs that have been played out that would have been worked really well, but no, they pull out this Mel Torme song that no one's ever heard that is pitch perfect. I don't know whose idea that was, whether it was the show's creator, who I can't remember now, Ben Stiller, or it was like, the music director or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know whose idea it was. Just was like, I have this weird thing you could use.
I don't know whose idea it was, but it was perfect. For the longest time, I've wanted to go back through like the Billboard Hot 100 from 1967 and find the 75th song on the list. You know what I mean? Like go through the bottom half of the Billboard Top 100 from decades past and find weird songs like that like are great, but nobody it wasn't what people were looking for. Yeah, it's like, oh, I'm so jealous. It's so good. Like
well, we've talked about a lot of the editing in this show. I can't think of a better edited. I'm trying to think of anything to compare Severance to. Also, like let's talk Moon Knight. I'm gonna talk Moon Knight for a second.
Yeah,
because Moon Knight has this like gaps in memory, two people, kind of multiple personality, quote unquote, sharing a body. And Moon Knight uses it to like, he flashes in and then wakes up and he's holding a bloody gun, and you're like, I kind of would have liked to see that fight. You know what I mean? This show does it so much better, where it's like, pump the brakes. Both of these are people from the beginning. These are both people. And I don't know. There's something about the way they edit it, like the Mark Scout Mark S conversation through the camera, through the recordings, is shot so cinematically. Like when they started it, I was like, how are they going to make this interesting to watch? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They did it. They did it perfectly. They just turned it into a normal conversation with beats of that, like, wait, we have to record a response. You know what I mean? Like, dude, whoever came up with that, like, whoever executed that is a genius. Like, they're genuinely just, the cinema gods reached down and grabbed them and guided them to the right answer. Because it's, I legitimately, as soon as it started, I was like, hey, the camera!
I have the exact same camera.
That is so funny.
I was watching that episode and I was like, that's my family's camcorder. I have the exact same camcorder. And so literally the rest of the episode, I just had it in my hand and I was like playing with it the rest of the episode. Sorry, not to make that about that, but I saw it and I was like,
that's literally amazing. I love that.
Oh God, it's so good. Yeah, okay. No, keep going.
No, just I think the end of season 1, the way they like around to everyone in like that sense of propulsion it creates, where the whole time you're just like, somebody say something, tell someone, please, and the way it revealed, like the whole like the band coming into play for Mark.
Choreography and
merriment, man, and just the way that's edited. And we'll talk about Mr. Milchick specifically, because I want to just deep dive on him a little bit.
Oh, baby, I want him to deep dive on me, baby.
Okay, I'm so glad I'm not the only. Every time he has a new outfit on, I'm like, this man just has it on. Like,
he's the most handsome man.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Full stop. Man, it's funny. Like, just let's have this conversation for 1 second. Why is everybody so hot?
I know.
Like, everyone's so hot.
It's the Gemma flashback episode where all of a sudden, not all of a sudden, I've always thought Adam Scott was hot, but in that episode, you're like, holy
You remember
hell.
that he's hot.
Yeah.
It's like he has a good haircut and he's got a little bit of a 5 o'clock shadow, and you're like, oh,
and he's not an alcoholic.
And he's not sad. Like,
seriously, he pops up on screen. It's like a jump scare. Like, you're like, whoa, attractive. Patricia
Arquette serving face the entire season.
Entire
face
time.
Card,
it's
never declines, platinum, no limit.
Yes, I don't know the actor's name. Let me look it up. But the Dylan G, dude, I love Dylan G. One of my favorite characters in the show.
Yeah.
They find a way to make him
so interesting with
Zach
everything.
Cherry.
With his
his name
wife.
is Zach Cherry.
Yeah, everything that they're doing with him and his like outie wife is fascinating and sad and horrifying. Like,
yeah, I mean, I always loved him, but the first couple episodes, you're like, oh, he's just going to be the comedic relief character we're not going to do that much with, and then you're very quickly proven wrong. There is no such thing as a character they don't do everything they possibly can with in this show.
Real.
Even the goat people, like, they have weird lore and backstories and like desires.
Yeah.
Shit is awesome. But Mr. Milchick, let's talk about him, because I think he has the best. Mr. Milchick and Miss Wong, they have the best argument for why this is not a show about work-life balance. Because one of them is a child labor cult storyline. And he is the adult version of that, because at least I don't know if it's an overt or explicit, but I believe he went through the same program she did.
Well, Miss Cobell did.
Miss Cobell, but I think Milchick did too.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That wouldn't surprise me.
That's my reading of it. The way he was talking to her made me read it that way. But the scene when he's looking in the mirror trying to use smaller words.
Yeah.
And it's like this corporation trying to de-intellectualize a black man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Trying to force him out of being an intelligent human being, a capable human being, by just degrading everything he's doing. The paper clips are on wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like giving him those portraits, like,
Oh,
dude, nothing. This is not a show about work-life balance. This is a show about lack of individuality through a capitalist cult, because it's a cult, dude.
Yeah, I think you're 100% correct. It's like so much about like the way corporations like can not only dehumanize but infantilize in this weird way. Like,
yes,
in my current role, it's very, very, very corporate, and I would say, look, don't be wrong, I do really like my current job. I do really like it, but there are times where we have these like parties and get-togethers that feel like elementary school parties, where it's like in the first season, like the you get the cartoons, or you get the finger trap, or you get the the egg bar is coveted as fuck, like the waffle party, like, and then the waffle party is way more dark and sinister than you ever imagined. But like there is something weird and sinister the way that real corporations actually like do dehumanize you, but also like infantilize you in a weird way, where you're like, everything has to be so watered down to a point of like of childness. You know what I mean? Like, there's that again, like, we're adults, like we can have an adult conversation, we can have an adult party, like. The other thing that I think is one of my favorite things about the show is, and we've already mentioned it, is the design, is the interior design, is the prop design, the costume design, this kind of retrofuturism, mid-century modern, timeless, like, the fact that like the whole world is completely out of sync with the current world. It's like they have cell phones, but they drive cars from the 80s. The computers that they're using
in a fake
are from the
state.
70s. Yeah. Yeah,
it's like not a real state. You know what I mean?
Right. But like, oh my God, I've become absolutely obsessed with the computer that they're using.
Yes.
I want and I have a bookmark on my computer. It's the Dasher D2 is the computer, and boy howdy, I want it. I want one. I want to make, literally, I have a Raspberry Pi that I'm putting Linux on so I can learn how to make a weird little macro data refinement machine that, like, what I want to do is build like a weird little computer that only can only access like a few writing tools and like can't do anything else. So like it could be like my macro data writing computer, you know? I've just become absolutely obsessed with, like, again, like this camcorders from like the late 90s or early 2000s, like they have cell phones, like the way that they mix all of these things, and it feels like the building itself, this like brutalist mid-century modern, like it's a gorgeous building, and yet is also like lifeless and so cold. And man, I just absolutely love everything they're doing, and the stark difference between the innie world and the outie world. Like, not only, you know, inside macro data refinement, everything, and the floor, the testing floor, everything is stark white, burn your eyes out bright, and then the outside world's so much more warm, but it's dark. Like,
it's shadowy, and Mark's apartment is also lifeless in a different way. You know what I mean?
Yes, 100%. Like what the show does with color, man. Like, the blues and the reds and the greens, and what do they mean? Like, I've seen things where like
red has just become a motif for it. Like red lighting has become this, like, when red lighting shows up, you're like, oh no, we're about to experience some things.
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty amazing.
Yeah. The show's so damn good.
It's so well, and I also like. I just think I like how it's Shane Blackian and how clumsy it is. Like how clumsy things play out. You know what I mean? Like so much of it is like, oh, somebody happened to be in the right place at the right time. Somebody, like, I'm thinking very specifically of the moment with the bolt gun.
Yeah.
And he like wakes up and he clicks it, and it's like, that is such a Shane Black thing to do.
So
you know
good.
what I mean? Neither of those characters would have killed that guy, I don't think. You know what I mean? And so they created a situation where it's a complete accident, but it's fully plausible within the world. Like, good shit. That is just that is the hardest writing to get right, and they never really fail at it. Like you know, like the severed cabins. It's like that whole idea of her in season 1. You're like, what is this trying to say and be about? And like, all right, whatever. Okay, it's about this. And then you're like, oh wait, she had to be there to see the thing to pay off a full season later. Like, it's good shit. Because again, it's like that feeling of being lost in the woods a little bit, but never feeling like you don't have that line to get your way out, but you do have to untangle it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's wrapped around some trees in a weird way that you have to just keep going.
Yeah.
This show's amazing. Like, we talked about how hot Adam Scott is. I also just want to say that, like, he's giving a career best performance. He's giving everyone, but I think Adam Scott specifically, Adam Scott and Mr. Milchick are my two favorite performances in it. I think both of them. Oh yeah, I think Mr. Milchick is giving like
too, man. Miss Gemma and Miss Casey.
Yes,
the difference between those two humans is phenomenal. Like what she is doing with each of those people. Like she is so robotic and weird as Miss Casey, and then
what is occurring?
As Gemma, she's a human. She's like a a real 3-dimensional human. Yeah, and like that entire episode, it's like she has one episode to give you everything you need to know about her, and it is absolutely gorgeous and perfect. Yeah, I think like the performances across the board, but Adam Scott specifically.
Adam Scott, like there's just moments where he's just. I love some of you're talking about Shadow and how dark, like in season 1 when he goes to visit the crash site.
Yeah,
and literally the only thing you can see in the entire frame is like the rim of his face because they light it off of like the car light, and that's it. You don't see his back, you don't see a tree, you don't see the sky. And he's just acting his ass off. And I think his difference between Mark S. and Mark Scout is so subtle.
Yeah.
I mean, they say it. They're like, your voice is worse out here. And it's like, it really is, but I wouldn't have picked up on it if you hadn't led me to it. I just would have felt it. Like, I don't know, man. I think Adam Scott is giving, like, one of the best performances in TV in the show. And then so is, like, everybody else. It's John Turturro. John Turturro's also giving and Christopher Walken, like everybody. It's crazy the depth of talent they have brought to this.
Man, what do I got to do to watch those two old men kiss?
That's what I'm saying.
What do I got to do?
I know.
I thought we were getting it. I thought it was about to happen, man.
And they told you no.
To a degree where I was like, that feels like a contract thing. That feels like somebody didn't want to actually kiss somebody.
Like those two old men were like,
They were like, but we don't actually have to, right? Like, look, from a COVID safety, they are, Christopher Walken's old as hell. Like,
yeah, that's true. That's true.
Maybe, like, I don't know.
Yeah, there's also something to be said about longing. You know what I mean? Like, giving the kiss would be a little too cathartic, maybe.
No,
so giving
for
that,
sure.
that longing is also a part of it.
And Irving's story is not done. You know what I mean? Like,
no, he's not coming back. Yeah,
he's not going off into that. Sweet goodbye. Like he's coming back. Like,
we don't know who he's working with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's one of those unanswered questions that I cannot wait to explore.
Everything with Cobell. Just everything with Cobell. Like, what's her plan? What's she doing?
Well, just in how tragic they end up. Because for so long, they don't really give her a way in to like care about her so much.
Right.
And then just the realization that, of course, somebody who had to stir whatever thing at a plant for 18 hours a day, of course that person would create the severed program, the severed chips and design. Of course somebody would do that. They don't want to live that life. And I think on the surface, so many people are like, I would love to do that. And I would love to sever myself and not have, you know what I mean? And it's insane to me how much they explore every reason that is completely immoral to do. Like, they don't find that there's not a stone left unturned about why that is so fucked up. Oh, 100%. It's so good.
Yeah.
Oh, this show, man. I genuinely was like, at first I was like, oh, this show's great. And then by the end of season 2, you're like, I really might be watching like a top 10 TV show ever. Hopefully it sticks the landing. Like, again, I agree with you. One more season and let's end it. Let's call it. But
each season's landing is stuck so well. Man, like the magic trick that the end of season 2 pulls off of Mark S. and Helly, or maybe Helly, running down that hallway together. Like that, the world where I wouldn't be like, what are you doing? Like the fact that like, I'm like, no, I mean, it makes it's tragic and it makes complete sense. Like, that just goes to show you how well this show is written and performed and directed, and the fact that they can make that work and make me not mad or sad or frustrated about it. It's like it's so well done. Like,
and I think some people are mad and frustrated about it. Like, I've heard a few people that I've talked to been like, I'm frustrated with the innies right now, and I'm like, that is a very surface level. Yeah, it's a very surface level reading.
You're
of that.
Just as bad as Lumen. That's what Lumen. Yeah, it's
would
like want.
No. Like, here's the thing. The part of me that's frustrated with it is the part of me that empathizes with the tragedy, right? It's the part of me that's looking at this situation and going, there's no future for them. Like, how can they hold the severed floor? Is that really Helly? Is it, where are they running to? Like, is it going to be the end of The Graduate where they immediately realize the thing they just did?
Yeah.
Is that the start of, like, all of these questions? That's where my frustration comes in. It's because I care about them. It's because I understand the decision they made, but I have the ability to not be so caught up in it that I can go, oh, no, they're not thinking this through.
They give us half a life and they expect that we're not going to fight for it.
Yep.
This is them fighting for it.
Exactly. And then to talk about like a writing standpoint, I think, and I'm so curious, I hope this isn't like controversial, I think Gemma is not written as well as like Gemma as Helly R is written as a character, like character-wise. I think Gemma doesn't have quite as many like desires that we know, like kind of the way I described it is like everything we know about her is that she was trying to get pregnant and couldn't. Her and Mark's relationship was strained, and then the only thing she ever asks about while on that testing floor is she's like, when can I see my husband again? Whereas like Helly R is like this revolutionary, you know what I mean? Yeah. She's in so many ways selfless, but also makes human mistakes and choices and feels desperation. Like I think I'm fascinated with Helly R. I love the dichotomy of her innie and outie and how evil her outie is and how her innie immediately is like trying everything she can to get out of this situation.
Yeah.
Like it's all that, like to me, like in that situation, everyone's like, she kept Mark from being with Gemma. And I'm like, we've spent more time with Helly R. We've spent more time with that relationship. It's like, of course he would make that decision. You know what I mean? And she told him not to, but then she showed up to say bye and they both realized they couldn't do it. That's human, man. That's good writing. That's good storytelling. Again, it's like you said, no, I understand why they did it. It's tragic.
Yeah.
Oh, good shit. Good shit. Anyway, go ahead.
It's like the best show ever. I can't, like, even after season 2, like, this is like Breaking Bad level good. You know what I mean? Like, it is better than Breaking Bad in certain ways, in certain aspects. It is better than Breaking Bad. I think it is just as good as Breaking Bad in the way it is like a detective in its search for ideas. You know what I mean? In how thorough it is in searching each one of its themes and plumbing the depths of each character and each idea, each shot, each way of framing this room, like the way that they can play with sound and light and form. And man, it's just
and just making nothing is what it seems like. You know what I mean? Like it's shit like that where it's like I want to know what that I want to be a fly on the wall in that writer's room of just hearing these people have these like discussions of like, well, what about this? This is awful too. And then trying to find a way to make that into a cohesive story feels impossible. And they did it. Like they did it kind of immaculately. Like, man, I'm deeply impressed. And then you and I briefly had a conversation about this, but is this the weirdest show to hit the mainstream in the way that it has? Like, Severance is huge.
Yeah.
I can't think of another show that is this fundamentally strange, even in its filmmaking, that has been this popular. Because you referenced Lost, and I think that's a great reference. But Lost is still, at a lot of the time, shot like a regular TV show of the era.
Very much so. Yeah, it has that, like, floaty, ill-defined camera work that was fast and cheap. And, like, don't get me wrong,
really emulatable by anyone you want to get, you know?
Yeah, 100%. Like, it's let's cover it. You know what I mean? Like, it's coverage. Yeah. And it looks good. Like, it's it's lit
very well shot, yeah.
But it's coverage. Yeah. I can't think of another example. Like,
I would love it. Please, like, in the comments, let us know, because I want to find other shows like this that are this strange. Yeah. Like, I think you could find animation stuff that's this weird. You know what I mean? But like live actions. Oh, that's this popular? No, probably not. At least not in America. No. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I want to find another live action show that's willing to be this thematic and this complicated and this in your face while also being this. It's like, it's a miracle of a show. Like, we talk about that a lot. Like, movies are kind of miracles. TV shows are kind of miracles. This feels like it on such a deeper level.
Yeah, it's like, it is what sci-fi is best at.
Yeah,
of like, holding up a weird funhouse mirror to the world and showing you the angles you haven't seen before, or you haven't looked at it in that way, you know? Like, and I think that is why this show is so weird and amazing. And there aren't many other shows, other sci-fi shows that are A, this popular, B, this good, or C, this weird.
Yeah. Well, and I just love that the only real sci-fi element is the severed chips. Like, there's not, like, flying cars or some kind of world-ending environmental disaster. You know, it's not cyberpunk at all. It's just, like, pretty naturalistic sci-fi.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that it just drops a sci-fi thing into our world and then finds a way to make it timeless through the technology being used outside of that.
Yeah.
It's just good shit, man. I don't know.
There's
Watch
a world
Severance.
where this show is so bad.
I think
like, there's a world where this show sucks.
We talk about all the, not all the time, but they joke all the time. It's like, I want to jump over into the other timeline where I saw the good version of this. I think we're in the one timeline where this worked out. You know what
Truly
I mean? Like,
the one.
Yeah, this any other cast and crew and creative team, this would be a really not great show. And they found the exact right people to make it something really special.
100%.
Desperately hoping season 3 sticks the landing. Like, honestly, take your time. They said it's not gonna be 3 years. Take 3 years. If you need 3 years, take 3 years.
Yeah.
Like, I'm okay with it. I just want it to be good.
Yeah. I think, and this actually might be part of my lesson, but I think one thing that we actually should spend a little bit of time talking about is the marketing.
Yeah, no, please.
Like,
I would love to know what you're...
I think, like, look, I don't remember any marketing for season 1, in all honesty.
Neither do I.
And season 2, they have done so much for the entirety of the season. Like, it started with that weird pop-up in Grand Central Station where they had the main actors in a weird little booth acting out like they're
working. Yeah. Like,
with Papa Ben Stiller just on his phone taking pictures. And from there, constant interviews, after every episode, they've done a live Q&A at a different theater, like, across the country.
Yeah.
It's so cool. Like, and, not to mention I think the fan theories is like, I've been kind of conflicted on my, like, look, I love an ARG. I love a fun fan theory, but part of me is like, nah, but the show is, like, more serious than that. But at the same time, that feels, it is so intentional that they're leaving so many details out so that people will be talking about it. So it will be that cooler, like, talking around the water cooler show. in the way that we
the week
like,
to week
had.
nature of it. They just created this thing where they went, we're not only going to give you a great show to talk about on Monday when you go back into the office, we're going to give you every ability to run down the thing. And did you hear what this actor said? Oh, have you heard this theory? Like, they created a cultural moment in the way that TV is so uniquely designed to do.
And it just goes to show that the Netflix binge model is really stupid.
Yep.
Like, it's just really that stupid. Where it's like, I mean, like, even from a dollars and cents standpoint, like, you have, if you want to watch all of it, all of the season, like, live, you have to pay for 3 months, bare minimum, 3 months of Apple TV.
Yep.
Like,
instead of they're like, we're going to release half the season now and half the season later, and then you'll have to pay for 2 months. And it's like, it's no, dude. We'll just,
and then
most
there's
people are just
2
going
weeks
to
of
wait.
cultural conversation instead of 10 and 10 plus. Because, you know, the show wrapped up last week and we're still talking about it. I'm still going to be talking about it. Like, I just think that, like, what they have done from a marketing perspective is so smart. It's like, yes, it's probably expensive, like getting all these actors to do all of these things, but they clearly love it. Like,
well,
you know,
so they probably had to pay them for the pop-up. I don't think actors really get paid for press junkets and stuff. Like, I think that's part of the deal they make at the beginning. So if they don't know the full totality of it and they make a deal and it's just not as much money, I just don't think they get as much money.
Interesting.
They talked about that a lot during the Oscar campaign. This last Oscar campaign is like, actors are not paid to market their movies, really. Like, so, like, again, the pop-up thing is them having to perform.
Yeah.
They're paid for that. They have to be paid for that.
Right.
But, like, doing all those interviews and stuff, that's probably just them going, I want the show to do well because it'll do well for me inevitably. You know what I mean? And so they're going out and doing it, which is super cool.
But you're right. So much.
It's expensive. To set up that live stream and shuttle because the actors are not paying to get to the theater. You know what I mean? They're gonna send a car for them and that kind of, like, all that. Yeah, it's expensive.
Yeah, it's just
crazy.
It's crazy how often I'm seeing them everywhere. It's like you can't get away from it in a way that, like, but you know, if it were something less quality than this, it might bother me, but because the show is so good and they clearly care so much, it just really rings through from how much time they're spending on it and how much Apple believes in it. Also, it's funny that Apple is making this show because, like, I don't know, man, like, talk about, you know, corporate, you know, we have people in Apple factories literally jumping off the roofs. They have to make nets off the building so people would stop jumping off of them. Yep. And then Apple's making I guess we shouldn't. Don't nobody tell Apple. But this show is not about them.
You want to me, the closest comparison is Elon. Apple's great because you are right. They're directly, but Elon is like going around complaining about people not buying Tesla stock, and it's like, didn't you like 2 years ago do an interview where you said empathy is weakness, and now your feelings are really hurt that no one's buying your cars? Like, no, you fucked around and found out, dude. Like,
I mean, he literally was doing Cyberlink or whatever it was, where it's like the brain shit. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Like, if that ain't this shit, I don't know what is.
Yeah, it's just that thing of, like, these, like, our corporate I've said this a lot, is like, rise up against our corporate overlords. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that to me, it's the fact that a giant corporation is making this show is crazy, and I guarantee none of them understand it. You know what I mean? Like, I guarantee
they do, and like, you know what I mean? Like nobody has an iPhone in the show. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're all using, you know, Lumen devices or whatever the fuck. Like, it is clear, very separate from the real world, quote unquote. So it's like, I don't know. Like, I think that I think they know what show they're making. I just, you know, in the way that there have been things that we have made in the past about things, and you know, you might show it to somebody and they'll be like, oh, well, they're not talking about me. It's like, no, I'm talking exactly about you.
It's actually directly about you. Thank you for not noticing. You can hold up a mirror to somebody, they're not going to see. You know what I mean? Like, it's that's a great. We talked about really cool marketing recently from, like, a movie from 2024, and I can't remember which conversation it was.
I can't remember either.
I talked to you a little bit about the Planet of the Apes pop-up stuff where they had like guys in ape costumes riding around on horses and stuff. Like, just do shit. Put the effort in.
Smile,
people like it.
Like has had great
Smile.
marketing.
That's what it was. The Smile marketing is what we were talking about. How brilliant that was. Anyway,
I think if we were to move on to lessons, I'd say like the marketing, the way that the show is marketed. Like if you're gonna make a television show, make it weekly. Like and just like put your actors in everything. Like the other thing that I think is part of this is make everything matter. Like everything matters. Every little detail matters. It's like and the show doesn't have to be a mystery box show like this. Every single detail matters. And so that encourages the fans to go and look at every detail. Did you know that on the box of the box for the crib, do you know the name on the box?
No, I didn't
Cold Harbor. That's the name on the box of the crib.
Well, I'm gonna
only after did fans go and scrub through detail by detail. It's tiny. It's barely legible. It's like at the top of the box in like 12-point font, and a fan went and saw that it said Cold Harbor on that box.
Well, I feel personally attacked by that a little bit. That's emotional.
Yeah. So
I love that shit, though.
Make every detail matters, and that will help the marketing of your show, man.
Well, like I think not only the marketing of your show, I think that helps at the scripting level.
Oh, don't get me wrong. Like it helps everything, obviously.
That decision for him to go, Cold Harbor, I guarantee he came up with that first, and when he's like, why do I care about that? It's like, that's what I always do. It's what I always tell people is like, why this? Why that? Find the thing. So to find an emotional connection for seemingly a MacGuffin, brilliant. Like, dude, because intentionality comes through. Even if it's not in there, even if it's not a close-up of Cold Harbor, the intentionality of it bleeds into your script. Good shit.
Right. Good shit.
Yeah. My lesson is how to succinctly put it. I structure is king. You know what I mean? Like you have to find a way to structure a season, an episode, an arc. You know what I mean? And they have found a way to do that where no one quite feels exactly like the main character, but also Mark does. But which Mark? You know, it's like, and they found a way to make all of it really followable, even if it's confusing, even if at times you're lost. And that's the thing I want to. I kind of use that metaphor of being dropped in the forest, right? It's like, if you're going to drop somebody in the forest, you got to give them the yellow brick road. You know what I mean? Like you have to. It can be long and it can be windy, but you have to guide them out. And I think this show does it brilliantly. It's like, don't be confusing to be confusing. Yeah. Like that's surrealism. That's what surrealism is for. This show is not a surrealist show. It plays with surrealism, but it's not a surrealist show.
Right. Know
where that line is. Structure your show around the idea, around how far into surrealism you want to go, and you'll have something great. Anyway, there's a million lessons for this show: editing, visuals, acting. Like, God, I want to be a fly on the wall for every stage of this being made.
I want to be a fly, so I die in 24 hours. Sorry, that
was dark.
Whoa. B segment. Okay, this show has a ton of absolutely insane fan theories. So what we're gonna do is we're going to go through and we're going to rank some insane fan theories. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
So we're not going to put these on like a list of 1 to 10. Just give me like a tier list. So S rank of like, this is top tier, not believability, but just like
fun,
of whatever we want to put it on. So first things first. Lumen is trying to resurrect Kier. That's the goal.
I think that is very accurate to what it feels like they're doing. I'm gonna give that an A because I do think that's what's gonna happen.
You think so?
Yeah, it's a bit, you know me. I love characters. I can't wait to hear the weird ones. But this feels just very like somebody's like, yeah, that's what they're doing, right? Like,
yeah. No, I feel like almost to the point of it being too obvious. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it feels so exactly like what they're trying to do that I'm like, is that actually what they're trying to do?
Is that a theory?
Is that even a theory? Okay, next one. So A, I agree with A. I think that knocks it down from S of being like, yeah, but it's obvious.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. Yeah.
Here's the next one. There's more than one severed floor with different levels of severance. The one that I saw was really funny. The reasoning for this was that there is another severance floor with somebody who's partially severed, whose name is Ben W., who is really into claymation, and he is the one who made the claymation intro. And the claymation is so good, it's clear that he is not depressed.
Yeah. That's really funny.
Yeah.
The great little reference to Parks and Rec.
This one makes no sense to me. I don't know what proof there is for this in any way, shape, or form other than the Parks and Rec.
We know there are more than one severed floors that are different around the world. Like they bring in people from other severed floors.
That's true. I mean, I think when
in the one building, yeah.
Right. And there's the testing floor, obviously, but in the way of like there are more floors that have different levels of severance.
Yeah. This is a C to me. Like I don't know. Like I don't really know what to explore from that, you know?
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it makes any sense, but I did think it was funny.
Yeah.
Devin's baby is Kier. So there's a bunch of theories about like Devin being not who she says she is, or is some way affiliated with Lumen. There are a ton of theories about Rickon that I have heard. And so that Devin's baby is going to be in some way associated. So in the intro of the show, at the very end of the thing, when Mark S is sitting on the edge of the bed, there's a little baby Kier walking like on all fours in front of him. And that is Devin's baby. Like they're going to implant the Kier's memories into Devin's baby.
I don't know what to make of this one. I'm gonna be super honest about that.
Because why would Devin be having her baby at the Lumen birthing facility?
But she wasn't severed, you know what I mean? Like
right. But it's still a Lumen thing. You know what I mean? Like the other rooms are severed rooms.
I think it is more likely that Rickon is doing that and she isn't aware, kind of a Rosemary's Baby type situation.
I'm not saying that Devin necessarily knows what's happening.
I could be more interested in that because I actually really like Devin as a character. I think she's interesting.
Too.
And
I don't think like all the Devin theories. I think they're unfair.
Yeah, and I think her and Mark's relationship is one of the best sibling relationships I've seen in TV in a long time.
Amen.
I think this is interesting if it takes the Rosemary's Baby route.
Yeah.
Of like a capitalist cult buying a child to implant the memories of their founder. Like that is more interesting to me than Devin as a part of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll give this one I'll give it a B in that I do think there's something to explore here. Yeah. But I don't love the implication that Devin is a part of it, or at least other theories you've said you've heard. Like I'm not as into that. I really like Devin.
Let's take Devin being a part of it out of it. Like it's
okay.
It is
Devin being
Rickon and Lumen in some way, shape, or form potentially, but
and it does go with that first theory of right. So this feels like the next step in that first theory is Lumen's trying to. Yeah, resurrect Kier. Devin's baby is what they're doing. Yeah, I'll give it an A in that I do think there's a lot to explore there. There's a bunch of different avenues you could take it. Like, what if Devin is severed and she doesn't know it? You know what I mean? Like there's something interesting if they found a way to make the chip kind of fill in gaps for you or something like that. Like, there's things you could explore there. I think that could be interesting. Yeah. Removing Devin being a part of it, I think makes this a more interesting. I'll give it an A. I agree. It's a pretty cool theory.
Helly is pregnant with Mark's baby.
The funny thing is I had this thought myself. I was like, what if she got pregnant? Like
this one, I would not be surprised by this at all. Like
no. I give it a B in that like it again feels a little obvious to what to do. But I don't know. Yeah. Okay, but then that becomes the question of if she is pregnant, then why wouldn't that baby be resurrected as Kier?
Fair. Well, maybe because they those plans. Well, obviously they started before Helly and Mark shacked up.
Well, but he says, I used to see Kieran in her. Now I see him in you. Yeah. And that could be literal. You know what I mean? Like she could be pregnant.
Yeah.
And this is a good one. This is a solid one.
Yeah. I'm going to go B on this one.
I'll go B.
Yeah. James Egan is Kier. The founding myth is a lie. Like all of this stuff from the 1800s, none of that's actually true. James just started the company. This one also doesn't really make that much sense to me because it's like, yeah, but they have this whole, like, I would probably say that Patricia Arquette, Miss Coble, is not that much younger than James Egan, and yet she went to the freaking whatever Egan Academy. I don't know how this one makes any sense at all.
I will say I think James Egan is older than Patricia. Like I think he's ancient.
You think?
The way he talks, you know what I mean? How quiet and nearly inaudible it is. It's like that feels like they could make him younger through technology, but they also can't fully do it. And so the voice, I don't know. At least for Breck and I were like, this man is so fucking old. That's our reading of it. That is obviously not explicit in any way. I agree. This one doesn't make a ton of sense. I'm gonna go C on this. And that like, sure, the idea of this is the start of a cult can be interesting. I don't think this is the way to do it.
Yeah.
I don't think this is the most interesting way to go about that storyline.
Yeah. I think this one's dumb as hell. This is like D for me.
Yeah, C, D for me, but I'll go C in that.
I mean, like obviously there's
the
parts
idea
about the
of something like that's cool, but yeah.
Like obviously parts about the founding myth are lies. Like obviously a lot of it is lies. But James Egan being Kier, like the same person, or being everything is made up to where they weren't even started in the 1800s. Like that doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
Rickon is a goat.
Rickon is the GOAT, bro. Like he freed Mark S's mind, and
he's the greatest writer of all time, baby.
Yeah.
No. So the theory is there's a bunch of goat imagery around their house. There's a whole like list of reasons why he is associated with goats. One of like he like in the last episode of season 1 where he's like reading his book, like when his voice gets shaky, it starts to like he starts to bleat like a goat, kind of. And there's like a bunch of other things. This one is S tier for me. It's absolutely hilarious. Rickon is a goat.
Well, it's hilarious, but there's also a really dark implication of, are the goats there to design personalities and grow them in a being before they like program them?
Yeah.
Like, is that what the goats are? Like, are they just sacrifices to be made?
Yeah. Yeah. Like that part of the theory is that like he's like a severed goat or something like that. Like there's like the goat, either he got his memories were implanted into a goat or vice versa or some shit. I can't remember exactly what it is, but it's wild.
Fascinating. I agree. S tier. Because even if it's weird. Like that's make a fan theory weird, man. Because if you're right, holy shit.
Hashtag make fan theories weird again.
Yes, finally.
The MDR team are the four tempers: woe, malice, dread, and frolic. So like Mark S would be woe. Maybe Irv is dread. Who would be malice and frolic in this situation? I've also seen that the Gemma, Rickon, Mark, and Devin are the four tempers, like are like line up with the four tempers. I don't think that makes as much sense because like why?
Well, to throw this this feels less like a theory to me and more like a parallel that might be drawn.
Right, like a theme. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like it doesn't feel like I don't know what the theory on this would be.
Was that like the things that they're trying to, the macro data that they're refining is for Mark S. He's trying to refine away woe. Irving is trying to refine away dread. That kind of thing. That's
interesting. Okay. I'm going to give this one a C. I don't know. Again, it feels more like a parallel and more like a conversation in the writer's room than it does a fan theory.
Right.
A bit to me.
Yeah.
But we'll go see. I think there's something there, but
I'll go B on this one because I like it. I think it's cool. I think like you said, like there is some cool parallel to it. It's like, as far as like the depth of fan theory, I'm not sure, but I think it's still cool.
Yeah.
Lumen is Santa's workshop. So what they're refining is actually they're refining the good boys and girls.
Hysterical.
At one point, Irv says, like, as Kier always says, "Be ever merry."
Hysterical. I love this.
The goats are actually reindeer.
This is a perfect fan theory. I think it's absolutely incorrect, and I kind of love that about it.
Christopher Walken's team, they're actually making
they're the elves. They're making the presents. Yeah. Fuck it, S. This is awesome. This is
the best.
It's so funny
because it's clearly true.
Yeah. Oh, because it's 100% obvious. How did none of us see it coming until now?
Yeah. The Santa, it's always snowing. It's like always cold because they're in the North Pole.
You're right. I don't know how no one talked about that.
Everyone in the town of Kier is severed or has been severed at some point. So the town that they're in, they have said that they wanted to feel very cut off from the rest of the world or cut off from the rest of the country. Mm-hmm. Clearly, Lumen has a lot of control over the town. Mm-hmm. Like Pip's Diner, like they're giving out, things to that. Mark S. lives in a community that's owned by Lumen. Kier's statue is outside the front of town hall. Like, either everyone is severed or has been severed at some point or has been tested on in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah. I think this is cool. This is a cool one.
Yeah.
The part of me that wants to rail against it is it feels like there have been times in the show where they would have wanted to activate that. You know what I mean? And then they didn't. I give this one an A. I like this. This is cool.
Yeah. I think it's just fun. I think it's weird.
Does Devin live in Kier or do they live outside of town?
That's a good question. I'm not
because she has to come pick up Mark I just don't know what because to me I thought Kier was the company town. Because those are things there are parts of the country that have those.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I have some question marks. I'd like to read further.
Yeah.
But I think this is fun. I think this is an A for me. I like the implications here.
I agree with that one. Helly is actually Helena in the season 2 finale. So right at the very end, that's Helena.
I think this is a good theory because I think this is very plausible. I just don't want it to be. I think that's less interesting to me. Because to me, it would have to be right at the end. It'd have to be that last scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about this one. It just makes me sad.
Clearly, Helena has some kind of attraction to Mark S.
Oh, yeah. She's either obsessed with him or has never... I don't think she's ever felt real connection in the way that Helly R feels to Mark.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's her living vicariously through Helly R. And then, so James comes down. He's like, I used to see Kier in her. Now I see her in you. And so he switches them. He puts Audi Mark on the severed floor and switches them.
Yeah, no, I had that thought of he switches Helly R and Helena and flips them.
Yeah. So now that's Helena.
I just think that would
down there
play out differently than them running down the hall together. I don't know. Look, it's a good theory. I'm going to give it an A because it is very plausible to me. I don't know.
Yeah. I really like it because it doesn't change the tragedy for Mark. You know what I mean? Because again, he couldn't tell the difference between the two. He did not see the difference between them because, he had sex with Helena, not realizing it wasn't Helly. And he's still taking control over his life in the same way. I really like this one. I think this one's fascinating. And for her, it's I think for Helly and Helena, it is also really, really interesting because Helena was so cruel to Helly, and now she is trapped. She is stuck down there. This is her escaping that, or trying to escape that, with the only person that she's ever had affection for, or vice versa. Yeah. I think this one's interesting. I really like this one. I don't know if it's true, but I think there's a lot. Either way, whether it's Helly or Helena, it's still tragic and fascinating.
Yeah, I think I'd give, if the theory was specifically that James switches Helly and Helly are, then I give that an S, because I think that is just brilliant. Like, I think there's so much to do there.
It's not anything other than that. It is James switches them.
No, I know James switches them, but like, yeah, essentially, the way it's worded to me feels like, oh, it's Helena the whole time in that last little bit, and I was like, I don't know about that, but if it's that James, like, if the theory is James switched them and now Helena's the innie and Helly are like that, that's an S. That's an S one.
Yeah, when I say season 2 finale, I mean that last moment. I don't mean the whole episode. Yeah. No, I love that. I think it's really cool. This is totally S for me.
Yeah, that specifically S. Yeah, like if that is what the theory is, and it is, then S for that, because I do think that's fucking dark and scary.
The board is the consciousness of all previous CEOs. The revolving is when CEOs are added. So I think it's the season 1 finale, he says, you'll be sitting by my side during the revolving, which there's nothing else to that. And then, because like we only hear from the board once, and if you ask me, it's clearly James' voice. Yeah. And yeah, like it would not surprise me if the board is all of the souls or consciousnesses or whatever of all the previous CEOs.
I think this one's cool. I want to know what the revolving is specifically. You know what I mean? Like, I want to know. I want to see all that shit. I give this one an A. I think this is a cool idea.
I love this one. I think this one's super cool. I'll go with A too.
Yeah, that's a fun one.
Yeah, I think that's it. We did it.
So many fan theories.
I'm not going to turn this off this time. There we go. I did
it. Yeah.
So yeah, that's Severance, baby.
That's Severance. Good shit.
Recommendations?
All right, I'm gonna recommend something controversial. People got real strong feelings on this, but I've been replaying it. The Last of Us Part 2 is a masterpiece, and I don't care what anybody has to say. That game is playing a game with you and with your like ability to feel empathy and read parallels. I think it is. I struggled the first time I played it. I thought the gameplay was awesome. I thought it was a really fun game, but I struggled with some of the like complexities of it because of my own emotional reaction. But as you play that game, you realize, oh, he wants you. The creatives want you to feel that. They want you to think of this as a black and white thing, so that when you get to some of the more emotionally challenging moments, you have to really look inward. And so many people did not look inward. So many people decided, no, my feeling at the beginning of the game is my feeling at the end of the game, and that is wrong. That game is playing a game with your soul, man. Like, it's asking you real questions. Nakey Jakey, you talk about Nakey Jakey when you talk about Red Dead Redemption. He has a video on this. He also does not love this. But to me, I'm playing a movie when I'm playing The Last of Us. You know what I mean? I'm not playing this game for the open world, crazy, I can do anything I want and make all the decisions. That's not what I thought I was getting into when I started the game. I wanted to play a movie so I can feel it. So I can feel like Ellie. So I can feel like all these characters. I think it's brilliant, and I'm replaying it specifically because Season 2 is coming out, and Breck has not played Game 2, so she wanted to before the show came out. And she doesn't play video games, so she wanted to watch me play it. So replaying it, I've thought it's brilliant. It's been so fun, like, watching it with somebody else and stuff. I'm worried about what the show's gonna do. But yeah, yeah, that game is fucking awesome and you should give it a chance. I know you're not the biggest Last of Us game guy. I know the gameplay doesn't super work for you. I do recommend playing it though. Like, I don't know. What I think you should do is you should put in one of them cheat codes or something and get the like Game Plus Unlimited shit where you just have everything, so you can experience the story at least in the way that it unfolds. Because I'm sure you know every twist and turn of it at this point. It's been out for so long, but it is the thing that I love about the Last of Us games is that it is different to play it. It is different to feel it. Anyway, The Last of Us 2, man, that shit is awesome. It's so good. Man, yeah, that's my recommendation.
It's sad. I really am so not very interested in watching season 2.
Yeah.
I want to care. I want to watch it, but I also don't. And
season 1 we've talked about this a little bit, but season 1, I think specifically post that episode we did on it, our feelings have harshened a little bit. Yeah. But I think season 1 specifically got worse kind of episode to episode. Like it had an incline, and then it hit episode 3, which is the best episode of the show, and I think one of the great episodes of TV, kind of. Yeah. And then it just started having this decline of spending too much time on the wrong things and not having enough of the things that made this world interesting, and kind of breezing over stuff that it needed to spend more time. Like, why did we spend 2 episodes in KC instead of 2 episodes in Jackson? Like, why? Yes. That's the part that makes it far less interesting to me. And I think I don't have a lot of hope that season 2 is going to work great, because the structure of game 2 is what makes the show what makes that game so fascinating to play. Yeah. So to me, the only way to do it is to do Last of Us season 2, Last of Us season 3, and then end with a movie is the only way in my mind to correctly do it. And I just don't think that's what they're going to do. I think they're going to try to pull it into as many seasons as they can because of how popular it was. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. Yeah.
I want to care. I love everybody in that show.
I know.
And the creative team is great. But man, the ending of that of season 1 left me really cold. Yeah. And the more I've thought about it, the more I've hardened on it.
I need to go back and watch the last episode of season 1 again, but that was my feeling too, where I was just like, really? This is the emotion we're ending on? Because I'm not really feeling a lot here. It's like not feeling the weight of what we did.
It's like the second to last episode or the episode before that, where it's like, wow, you just do not understand what that moment was. Yeah. It's like one of the biggest emotional moments in the game. And it's like, wow, you don't get that moment. Yeah. And you made it. It's so like funny because you made it. Like, yeah. Yeah.
Anyway. Well, the real, I don't know. I don't know what happened to season 1. Hopefully season 2, there's some course correction. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's the same thing with Invincible. I don't love Invincible, the show. Yeah. I love the source material, but I'm one of the few. We're some of the few that really just don't care for the Last of Us show that much.
It's like, again, we'll see. I think the performances are phenomenal. Like, it's not that stuff, you know what I mean? Like, it's just some weird staging stuff and some editing, like the script editing.
And how they play a beat. It's specifically the like cannibal episode that's like really got some really great stuff in it. And then when it needs to hit, it just doesn't. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, okay. All right.
I mean, it's everything. It's the episode before that too. It's like where they have the big fight, and then I can't remember what okay, maybe this is an off pod thing. But so they have the fight, like, you know, you're not my daughter, and I can't not remember because they just kind of are friends again after that.
Yeah, the fight ends. She runs off. Tommy's gonna take her. Joel takes her. Joel ends up with nothing in between. Joel decides to take her, and then it cuts to a montage of them bonding.
It's that.
And then Joel gets hurt. With no action, like it's literally a bat breaks and gets in his stomach versus how the game did it, which I think is better. Yeah. It's an episode of
chunk.
That
just absolutely that part where you wow. Yeah. So they're just cool. Like, okay. Like,
yeah. Like the part of the game that made it so interesting is that they have this argument, and then they have to fight to live, and Joel realizes he can't let somebody else fight for her. Like, he's got to be the one to do it.
Yes.
That's what makes that shit interesting. But they just removed that whole chunk and just made them friends again. Like, it's like, that feels like beginner screenwriting shit where it's like they just wanted us to go along with it. And I'm like, well, no, you could have had one group of raiders.
Moment.
Like, yeah.
Like, that is such an important moment.
Yeah.
Of like, yes, like he can't let someone else fight for her. He has to be the one. He can't let her be on her own. Like, anyway.
It's weird.
It's weird, dog. It's weird, dog.
Yeah.
My recommendations. Go watch Lost. That show rules. If you want to miss like the OG mystery box show. Let It Go, where it's very 2004 by 2025 standards. There's
but
a lot of fucks. It still fucks. There's some filler shit in like season 2 and 3, but man, like season 4 during the writer's strike, where it was like 16 episodes or something, it's like way shorter. Like, and it just gets insane. Like in the later seasons, let it go where it goes. There's still great shit in there. But yeah, go watch Lost, and then also I rewatched. TikTok's ability for copyright infringement is truly insane. Because I saw somebody just selling posters of that in the final episode, the big painting in the wall of Lumen with like Mark
that I want. Yeah,
and they were just a random person screenshotted it and are just selling it on TikTok Shop. Like, that isn't copyright infringement. Like, look. I'm all for like fan creations and things like that. But like, man, an artist made that. Like, that's an artist's work that you are taking money from, probably. Like, that. And then, so the other part of it is I keep getting clips of Ford v Ferrari, just full wholesale clips of the movie. And I was like, fuck it. I'm watching Ford v Ferrari. So I watched Ford v Ferrari last night. Man,
that movie rules. I love that movie.
The movie's very, very, very good. It's a very, very good movie.
Hell yes. I love that movie so fucking much.
Man, Matt Damon is the king of dad cinema. Like,
he really is, yeah.
Right now, like, it used to be Denzel, but I think it's Matt Damon now.
It is Matt Damon now. He's found his way into it. Good shit.
Yeah. Good shit.
Yeah.
Well, you have a lot of things to watch. You have entire television series to watch, some great movies, a great video game that I don't think I could stomach, but a great video game. So go watch or listen or play all of those things, or don't. I don't know. Live your life. Here, chosen one, here.